Hello, some friends, and welcome back to another batch of Architect Homes. These are all equally bad.
Give me the truth, they suck.
We're going to go through each one and see what inventory items are there. So here is house one. On the layout, I don't like it at all. And there's a bunch of flowers, like this house just threw up in a garden. And it looks like that there's a meth lab in there. Some town has a meth lab, it looks like. If you haven't completed the toddler quest, they have those items in there. They have the French items in here. And those shelves, I forgot what event they're from. And here is house number 2. Of course, I do not like the layout. I think it sucks. But they have some modern items. And then they have the garage items in here. And the spa items. If you haven't completed the spa event, there's some urban items in here as well. House number 3. This one, the layout's not too bad. I mean, it's okay. But for inventory, there's some urban items in here, some French event items, and a lot of older items. And basically, it's empty. Okay, this one has a forest in the middle. But if you don't have the items for the holiday events, you want to grab this house. It has quite a few of them. But for the layout, it just doesn't make sense. It's just a forest. They have those barrels there that are tables. And then there's some game items. This house number 5, I think it is. This one is not bad at all. This is like 2 apartments or something, or 4 apartments or whatever. But there's homestead items, holiday items, French event items. And a Prohibition. The sim channel was a Prohibition. There's some urban items in here, and we have a lot of French event items and homestead. So if you haven't completed those events, this is a cute house. And that's actually the house that Melissa is going to remodel. So this house, for the layout, For inventory, there's a villa event items, outdoor stairs if you don't have those. Really not much here. It's just okay, but if you haven't completed the villa event, this is a good house to get. And also the bookshelves, or if you don't have those bookshelves. There's another house. This house is, well, as I said, just no. The black fridge, and then those bathroom items, I forget where they're from, but there's a toddler event items. If you don't have any of those, there's that infant crib. But even for inventory, this house is not that worth it. It's essentially empty, and you're paying a hell of a lot of money, so you might want to save it. So there's some chalet items in here, and also the bookshelves. This house is a birthday cake / diabetes house. And I say that because it is full of candy. So it's a diabetes house. So if you haven't completed the gingerbread house items, this will be the house to get. The layout, I said, looks like a birthday cake. Toddler items in here. That is rare. But other than that, if you have not completed the gingerbread house, then you would want to get this house. And also the games up here are rare. This house is creepy looking. It looks like a cabin, but it looks like a holiday / haunted cabin. Do have some holiday items in here, like the trees. Toddler items, if you haven't completed the toddler event. I think it was a toddler event, I don't know. But other than that, this house is really, it's okay. It just depends on what you have. But there's a lot of holiday and toddler items. This is the prison house, or at least I call it that. This is a straight up looks like a prison, and it just looks creepy. And to me, it doesn't make sense. And essentially, it's empty as well. So for inventory items, I'm really not seeing anything. There's a lot of the wizard cottage events. So if you don't have that, then this is a house for that. And there's a Christmas tree, and then there's some like Christmas items in here. And here's the basement. It's downstairs, looks really creepy. This house is just overall just very creepy. And then there's 2 lavish event lights there. I need a donut after this. There's some garage event items. This house is actually not that bad. There's a lot of the chalet event items in here. So if you haven't done that, then this would be a great house to get, as well as there's some modern items. There's some pool house items. There's a bookshelf and the gray couch in here. And the layout actually kind of makes sense as well. So this house is, for inventory and layout, it's actually not too bad. I would probably do away with this basement. Again, there's a bar in the basement. So this is a Prohibition House as well. On the second floor, there's some garage items in here. If you have not completed the garage events, and also the closets. This house is a lot of holiday items, but you want to save your money, not get this house and wait for the last house, because that's the house that has a lot of the rare items. See a lot of the holiday items. Again, it has a hole in the middle. That's just not my thing. Also has the red stool. So if you haven't got the red stools, this house has it. If you want the holiday event items, just wait until the last house. They do have a few games in here. This house is the one to get because there's a lot of rare items in here. And I've actually already built this house because I was after the inventory. So let's take a look at it. There's games there, and there are those stall doors. And here's a lot of toys. If you don't have these toys in your game, you want to grab these. And then also, there's a water cooler here, and there's those airplane toys. Again, a lot of toys and games. So, and also those stall doors. This house has a lot of inventory items that is worth it. Take a look at the trees. There are some trees that have the purple gifts under it. And those are, I think, older trees from way back in the day. And you want to snag those up. And that fountain is a frozen fountain. You want to grab that as well. It's the house to get for rare items, as you'll see as we go up more. But yeah, the trees with the purple gifts under, I didn't have. That white fridge. And the countertops are, I think the navy ones, I got in an online pack. These trees are the ones I was saying. And there's some of those hanging lights. I think those are from the chalet, I think. And then there's some Latin items in here. A lot of toys, as I said before. There's the French event items, those, you know, those bookshelves. And there's some more like French items in here as well. I think that wallpaper may be a glitch, I don't know. And spa items are in here. Water cooler. And again, those toys are in here. And that well, I snatched that up as well. There's a lot of great items in this house. I like it for if you wanted to make a public build, like a mall or something. And this house is definitely worth it. So that is all of the architect homes. And I have asked Melissa from Sims Freeplay Architects to remodel House 5, as we like to call it. That's a Prohibition House. So stay tuned for hers. But overall, the houses I do not like, except for the last one for inventory.